Hello everyone, welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. In the last episode, we made our way through the Goldenrod Underground and up here to Route... hang on, what route is this again? 35, that's right. And up to Route 35, and cleared out all the trainers. You might notice a difference between this video and the last. It is now nighttime, and one of the reasons I wanted to move it to nighttime is to show off that you can battle these police officers here. And I don't really know why, but they actually get their own music, too. One thing to note about the police officers as well, as I mentioned in an earlier video, I think 2 videos ago, you can only battle them at night. And they're not like other trainers where if you walk in front of them, they'll have the exclamation mark above their head, and then you get into a battle. You actually do have to talk to them in order to fight them. Now you can see this guy here has got a level 14 Growlithe. Growlithe, as I mentioned, we can catch on Route 36, and I believe you can get Growlithe as early as, when you're up at the part of Route 36 that's near Violet City. You can get one even then. Growlithe, as I mentioned back then, is actually not a bad Fire-type Pokemon to have. Not bad at all, actually. It's very fast. If I remember right, it is more inclined to physical attack than special attack, which isn't super great for a Fire-type, but it's still not bad. We, however, have Hot Pocket, though, so we don't have to worry about getting a Fire-type Pokemon. Yeah, but as you can see, Growlithe isn't really anything special here. It does have Bite, which... I'm trying to remember if Dark does physical or special damage in this game. In later Pokemon games, the type of damage that an attack does is based on, well, the move itself, whether it does physical or special. So, like, in later games, Bite will always deal physical damage. But in these early... excuse me. But in these early games, it's sorted by type. Let me take a drink of water here real quick. Okay, so before continuing onward, and let me go ahead and swap out... Oh, also, in between videos there, I went and stopped down by the Pokemon Center as well. So before I head more to the north, I'm actually going to go back down to Route 34 and take on the police officer there. So one moment while I go back down there. Okay, here we are back on Route 34 by the daycare center. Here's the other police officer here. Yeah, so you might have noticed that, like, when I beat that other officer, he said, whoops. I think the idea is that, like, since it's nighttime, they can't tell, like, right away whether you're a thief or a 10-year-old kid or something. I don't know. And, wow, this guy's Growlithe is actually pretty high level for this point in the game. Level 17. Ooh, you know what? I didn't think this through, did I? Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll use Krusty because Krusty's a water type and can use Water Gun, but, that bite's gonna deal some pretty hefty damage to me. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna have to swap Krusty out. I mean, I guess I could use a healing item, but I don't particularly want to do that. I'm just gonna swap him out. Hot Pocket should be able to do the job just fine. Oh, excuse me, you know, and of course, it's right as I start recording that I have a little bug in my throat. I guess not that I've been really talking up until this point much, but... Whew. Alright, Hot Pocket's up to level 19. Now, if I really wanted to, this would actually not be a bad time to go take on the Goldenrod City Gym. But I actually want to explore up north before I do that for a couple of reasons. To show some stuff off, to get a little in-game dialogue. Well, and also to, like, make the story, I guess, make a little more sense. And, there's also a certain event I want to show off, too, while I have the opportunity to do it. Oh, one thing that I was actually made aware of in between videos, or in between recording sessions here is... okay, so I'll let you get a good listen at the bike music. Now, let's enter here and come back in. Now listen to the Goldenrod City music. Yeah, Yeah, so that's kind of a neat little Easter egg. The bike music is actually the Goldenrod City music kind of like sped up, which I never knew until like relatively recently. So that's pretty cool. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and head up north here. Okay, now, in-game, it is Saturday. And there's a specific reason I wanted it to be Saturday before I started this here. Let's talk to this guy. Oh, really? Yeah, the bug catching contest. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the game. Sure, why not? No, I don't want to use Krusty here. Yeah, so basically the idea of how this works is you'll get to take one Pokemon into the bug catching contest with you, whichever Pokemon is at the front of your party. And you'll use that one Pokemon to try to catch the strongest bug-type Pokemon you can find. I'm going to go ahead and take Barbara, because Barbara can inflict confusion on enemies, and that's going to be really helpful, having a status ailment on the Pokemon. Yes, I would like to give it a try. And I don't know why, but they always refer to your Pokemon in the lead as the actual Pokemon itself, not its nickname. Yeah, this is the other thing too, is that you have to use 20 Park Balls. You can't use any Pokeballs in your inventory. And you have 20 minutes, which is honestly way more than enough time. And it's always, yeah, the last Pokemon that you catch. So this is a little sneak preview of the National Park area. We'll be coming up through here pretty shortly. But yeah, we're going to want to try and find some good bug-type Pokemon. Now, there's quite a few different bug-type Pokemon you can find here. You can find Caterpie, Metapod, Weedle, Kakuna, Spinarak, Ladybug, I believe. Paris you can find here. As well as... Oh, you can find Butterfrees and Beedrill, too. Beedrill we already saw, Butterfree being the evolved form of Metapod. You can also find Scythers and Pincers here, and I believe this is the only area in the game you can find either of those Pokemon. Now, the way that the bug catching contest works is, there's a few different criteria on which your Pokemon is judged. Honestly, there's... I don't know exactly the weights of each criteria, like which one matters the most, but I know the factors are level, the overall stats of the Pokemon itself, and how much HP the Pokemon has when you catch it. Now, your best bet is going to be to try to find a Scyther or Pinsir. Butterfree or Beedrill should probably work too, but I like to try to go for Scythers or Pinsers if possible. Now, Scythers and Pinsers, I believe we will always find at about level 14 or 15. Oh, here's a Pinsir right here, okay. No, you can find them lower level. I think you can find them level 13 as well. Okay, this one's 14. So, I really want to try to catch this Pinsir at a high level, or at high HP as possible. So, I'm going to go ahead and throw out a Confuse Ray on it, because status ailments will affect, in my favor, whether or not I can actually catch the Pokemon. Now, hopefully Pinsir doesn't hit himself in confusion here. I was going to say, even if he does, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and throw a Park Ball here. The thing about Park Balls, too, is that their catch rate is actually pretty bad. It's even worse than a regular Pokeball, if you can believe it. But... okay, Confuse no more. I'm going to go ahead and throw another Confuse Ray on it. By the way, that move Focus Energy that I just used, when it says Pinsir's getting pumped, what that means is that Pinsir's next attack is more likely to be a critical hit. Alright, let's try another Park Ball here. Yeah, as you can see, the catch rate's... I mean... while Pinsir actually does have a lot of HP right now, the catch rate is still pretty abysmal. Okay, Pinsir's HP is getting pretty low. I'm going to try one more Park Ball here. But honestly, if Pinsir takes any more damage, I'm not even going to try to bother. I'm not even going to bother trying to catch it at this point. Because then its HP will be too low to win the contest. Another thing, too, is you don't want your Pokemon to get knocked out. Obviously, if that happens, you'll be knocked out of the competition as well. See, I'm a little weary about even catching a Pinsir with this much HP. Also, my Barbara's HP is getting a little bit lower than I would like. Because I actually don't know if you can use items on your Pokemon, right now. I don't think you actually can. I mean, I'm gonna keep trying with this Pinsir here, but I'm getting a little bit weary of this situation. Oh, Pinsir isn't confused anymore, is it? Yeah, I don't like this at all, honestly. Oops, I actually meant to use Confuse Ray again, but... Ah, that was so close. Yeah, so close, too. Yikes. You know what? I'm actually gonna run from this battle. And let me see something real quick. Yeah, okay, you can't use your items here, either. Wow, that's not good. Okay. Let me... Give me 1 second here real quick. I'm gonna cut away. I'm gonna try to figure out... Honestly, I'm gonna try to figure out if I want to reset the conditions or not here. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I thought about it for a little bit and I decided I'm gonna go ahead and try to just do this as I can right now. What I think I might try to do here is just like catch something... Like even this Kakuna here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just try to catch this real quick. And then, like, even if I can't get something better, at least I have the Kakuna to fall back on. Because, here's the thing. And this is... Okay, so I mentioned in an earlier video that I wasn't a huge fan of Paris. And that I had some bad memories associated with Paris. And, when I was a kid, I did this bug catching contest, like, religiously. I haven't actually explicitly mentioned this, but you can actually do the bug catching contest once a day, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And, I mean, I literally, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I was all over this bug catching contest. So, I loved it. I did it literally all the time. But, in any case, shoot, these park balls are really getting on my nerves. I kind of, part of me is like, okay, don't even waste it on this Kakuna. I don't think I am. I remember one time I caught a Scyther, and the Scyther, I think I was in a similar situation where I had it like a, you know, I was using Confusion, so it took like one hit from Confusion, but otherwise it was at full health, or at a lot of health, and I caught that Scyther and I used it in the competition. That was the bug Pokemon I registered. Well, I actually managed to lose that one. You know what? I'm going to go for this Kakuna because it is such a high level. I think it'll actually do pretty well for me. But I lost to a Paris, and as a kid I was like, what the heck? Paris is such a weak Pokemon. How could I lose to it? And like that sheer anger just like stuck with me throughout the years. So even to this day when I see a Paris, it brings up bad memories, and I'm just like, ugh. Paris. But in any case, so that's why I say, like, I don't know what the weights of each, like, requirement are, and why I almost think HP might matter more than other things, because, like, I know stats are a factor, and let me tell you something, Scyther has a lot more stats than Paris does, so... I'm running really low on Park Balls here. I'm actually getting pretty nervous about this, especially because... shoot, you know what? I'm gonna throw Confusion on. I mean, if I end up not winning or even, like, being able to catch a Pokemon here, it's really not that big of a deal. I can always try again later. But I really would like to show myself winning the bug catching contest. Here's the thing, though. This is kind of dumb of me. I didn't save, I didn't save before I started this video. The last time I saved, I think it was still morning time. Now, I don't know... Okay, cool. We caught the Kakuna at full health, so we do have that to fall back on. I'll keep looking around for a different Pokemon to get, but at least we have something to enter with the contest with. Yeah, I was going to say, though, I think the last time I saved it was still morning time. So I think if I try to load my last save, it's going to be morning again. Oh wait, no, maybe that's not the case, actually, because, I mean, the game has an internal clock. What am I doing? I don't want to waste my time here. I mean, the game has an internal clock. Huh, I actually don't know how that really works, now that I think about it, which I really should, but... Oh well, in any case here, how much time do I have left for this competition? Oh, it doesn't actually show the time. Okay. Well, never mind then. I think at this point I'm going to cut away until, like, I find a better Pokemon I want to try to catch, and then I'll show myself trying to get it. Ooh, okay, here's a Scyther. I'm gonna try to catch this Scyther. And I hope it doesn't KO me. I actually don't know what happens if you get KO'd in the bug catching contest. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. I don't know if, like, you're just... I don't know if you're kicked out of the contest altogether, or if it just, like, halts your progress there. I really don't know how that works, so... we might be finding out. Oh my... Wow. I was definitely not expecting that. Yes. Switch Pokemon. Okay, so maybe health is the factor, because that's the stat that's showing on this screen here. In any case, Scyther does have more health, so... And I don't think I'm going to do much better than a full HP Scyther. Plus, I don't really want to know what happens if I get KO'd, so I'm going to go ahead and end the contest early. In order to do that, you'll just walk into this building over here. Okay, looks like I had 10 minutes left. Yes, I would like to finish now. Okay. Alright, so basically the way this works is they're going to announce the results from 3rd, 2nd, and then 1st place. Oh, looks like I got 3rd place there. That's really too bad. I'm interested to see who did better than me. Okay, a Scyther, that makes sense. Maybe just had higher... Yeah, look at that, 4 more points. It must have had slightly higher, is what I meant to say, base HP. And yeah, Pinsir. Okay, so that... Wow, that actually doesn't really happen that often. Usually, in my experience, only one of the NPCs manages to catch a Scyther or a Pinsir. And again, look at that, just barely had more points than me. And so for our efforts, we get a Gold Berry, which is not an awful prize. It's like a regular berry, but it restores 30 HP instead of 10. First place for this competition is a Sunstone, and it's the only way in the game to get a Sunstone. And, I mean, I guess I might as well nickname the Scyther. I don't think I'm going to use her, but, I'm going to name her... I don't know if I'm spelling this right. Huron, as in Princess Huron from... I don't know if she's in World of Warcraft, but I know she's in Hearthstone. Yeah, and you can go around and talk to all the other people you're, placing against. Wait, what did that guy say? Oh, I actually didn't know that. I'm glad I talked to him. Yeah, apparently shininess is a factor too, but, like... I would not, obviously, try to get a shiny Pokemon here. That'd just be a bit ridiculous. But, in any case, let's go ahead and head back out to the national park here. Whoa. Have I never been here at night before? I don't recognize this music at all. Whoa, I'm like genuinely freaking out right now, guys, because here I am thinking like, oh, I know everything about this game, blah, 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 but like, I've seriously never heard this music before. Okay, I was thinking about healing up Barbara, but I'm gonna hold off on it. Yeah, that's really weird. I've never heard this music. Or at least if I have, it's been a while, so... in any case, yeah. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the national park here, and then I think we'll call it a video. So, this video might be a little long, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Sorry, I'm enthralled in this song right now. It's so good. How have I never heard it? So in any case, yeah, none of these NPCs are trainers here. There is an NPC I want to talk to right over here. Oh, I am, yeah. And here we get the Quick Claw, one of the best, if not the best, hold item in the entire game. Yes, so as she said, basically the way that this works is a Pokemon holding the Quick Claw will sometimes go first in battle, even if it has lower speed, which is really, really, really powerful. And I'm actually going to go ahead and give the Quick Claw to Krusty, because Krusty has such a low base speed. This will let him kind of circumvent that sometimes. So yep, now that the bug catching contest is over, yeah, you can see there's actually some trainers out here in the grass out here. Also, you'll encounter different Pokemon here than you would during the bug catching contest as well. Like, you won't find Scythers and Pincers here, I believe. I might be mistaken about this, but I believe you won't find Scythers or Pincers here when it's not the bug catching contest. I know that during the morning time you can find a grass-type Pokemon called Sunkern here. Sunkern itself is a pretty weak Pokemon. Its evolved form Sunflora isn't bad, but it's not really that great of a Pokemon either. I've used Sunflora before, though. It's not awful by any means, but there are better choices, even among grass types. It should be noted, though, that Sunkern can only evolve into Sunflora with a Sunstone, which, as I said earlier, you can only get by placing first in the bug-catching contest. Now, there's a couple other items I want to get around here. Oh, by the way, you might notice the tall grass looks a bit different up here. I don't know if this kind of tall grass appears anywhere else in the game, but, there's something strange about the shape of this fountain. Well, yeah, if you were able to look at a map of this area, like a large overhead map, this whole area like here is shaped like a Pokeball, which is why this grass is different. Now, I don't think this is a trainer here. Oh, she's talking about the Game Boy printer, which I never had one as a kid, but my cousins did. And yeah, if you have a Game Boy printer, you can actually print out stickers of your team and like stick them, well, wherever you want to put a sticker, I guess. Yeah, she's talking about mail, which I'm not really going to bother with much. Okay, see this guy here? Yeah, he's also talking about Game Boy printer. Now, you might notice something a little bit odd about the fence next to him, how it doesn't have like those rings or those bars next to it. Well, that means that you can walk right through it, like so. And you're definitely going to want to do this because, let me actually throw my bike on to make this a little bit faster. Oh, but, yeah, I'm actually going to keep the bike off because I want to hear this music. Which I'm still trying to think, I really don't think I've ever heard this music before. But yeah, if you come all the way down here, you can get a little hidden item, TM28. TM28 contains the move Dig, which is a ground-type attack that I believe has about 60 base power. And yeah, you can see from the description, first turn burrow, second turn attack. Basically what that means is that when you use the move, you'll go underground and not do anything else. And then on your next turn is when you'll actually do the damage there. Now let me see who all can learn Dig. Because I don't think Phanpy can actually learn Dig. No, which is too bad because Phanpy is really the only one who will be able to make really good use of it. I'm actually going to not teach any of my Pokemon Dig. I don't really like the move very much. See, it's kind of a double entendre, like a bit of a catch to it, right? Now, I don't think there's anything over here, but I'm going to go ahead and look anyway. I know there's another item you can get here behind the fence, but I don't think it's over here. Nope. Although maybe... Haha! My instincts were correct. There was a hidden item there. I did miss some hidden items back in Ilex Forest, though. I even talked about getting them, but then I just didn't. So, In all honesty, I'm probably not going to go back for them, though, just because, like, it's really far out of the way at this point, and the items, honestly, they're really not worth it, so... but as I was saying, I don't like using attacks like Dig, because even though while you're underground, the other Pokemon can't do anything to you, it's really just a waste of time, honestly, because, like, you know, Dig, like I said, has, I believe, 60 base power, and, you know, it takes 2 turns to use, though. Whereas even if I was using Tackle, which I think in this game has 35 base power, if I use that 2 moves in a row, that'd be an overall damage of 70, which is definitely still better than the damage I would deal with Dig. Oh, okay, here's our first spin rack of the game, our first wild one. So you can catch them here at night, like many other areas of the game, if you want to, but I'm not going to bother. Oh, I guess that works? It sounds a bit cruel, if you ask me, but no, whatever. Oh, right, this is the guy with the Raichu. Yeah, I should have switched out to Elephant. Krusty is definitely not who I want to use here. Let me go ahead and switch over here. Yeah, this Raichu's got a pretty mean Thunder Shock attack, but, as you can see, Elephant is immune to electric type attacks, being a ground type Pokemon. Which means that Raichu's going to have to resort to using Quick Attack, which, being a physical attack, won't deal much damage to Elephant. Yeah, nothing really much to say about this battle, except that you really don't want to bring a water or flying type Pokemon at all, because Raichu, being the evolved form of Pikachu and being evolved Pokemon in general, is going to have higher stats than most other Pokemon at its level. So that Thunder Shock can deal quite a bit of damage if your Pokemon is weak to it. But by using Elephant there, we were able to take care of that battle pretty easily enough. Now, I think there's 1 or 2 more trainers around here. I know there's at least 1 more. Okay, there actually are 2 more now that I think about it. This is a schoolboy here, and I'm trying to remember... I might have to swap out again, because I think this guy has an Oddish. Yep. Although, you know what? Maybe I won't, because... Oh, wait, no. Krusty doesn't have that kind of move yet. Krusty is not only just a Water-type Pokemon, but also a Psychic type. Meaning that... Eventually, Krusty will learn Psychic-type moves. Now, Oddish is Grass and Poison. Oddish's Poison type is weak to Krusty's Psychic type. Even though Krusty's Water type is weak to Oddish's Grass type. So it's kind of like a trade-off there, I suppose, but, well, like I said, Krusty doesn't actually know a Psychic move yet, so I'm going to stick with Hot Pocket for this battle here. Yeah, it's too bad. I really do want to get Krusty up to level, No, I'll go ahead and stay in here. I really do need to get Krusty up to level 19, but, yeah, unfortunately, there's just... Everything that we're fighting against here is super effective against Krusty. I guess I could have swapped him in against the Voltorb because, like I mentioned in the last video, I don't think Voltorb actually gets any electric type attacks until like later levels in this game. So, I think all we can really do is Tackle. Krusty would have been fine against that, but, whatever. We took Voltorb out all the same. Now, I think there should be 1 more trainer on in this area, a Picnicker, if I remember right. I think I actually saw her over here. Yeah, there she is. And I don't remember what Pokemon she has off the top of my head. Oh, it's a Lass, not a Picnicker. Of course, another Oddish. You know what? Let's stay in for this one and see how well Krusty does. This Headbutt should deal quite a bit of damage. Now you can see that Quick Claw is coming in a lot of help because, you know, even this Oddish really should have been able to outspeed Krusty. But thanks to that Quick Claw, well, speed isn't really as much of a factor for Krusty. Now, it should be noted that it doesn't work every single time, so it's not something you can rely on, like, 100%, but, it's still pretty nice to have. Ooh, we got a new Pokemon here, a Cubone. Cubone is a Ground-type Pokemon, And I don't think we have access to them at this point in the game. I don't think we actually get access to them for a very, very long time. Cubone and its evolved form Marowak are, I mean, decent ground-type Pokemon, but by the time you could actually find one in the wild, there's better options you could have encountered before then. Alright, and with that, Krusty hits level 19. And alright, we defeated Last Chris? I guess is how you would pronounce that? I don't know, actually. I've never seen that name before, well, except for in this game. Alright, so we do have a little bit more of Route 36 to explore, and, I'm looking at my timer. It is pretty high up on time right now, but thing is, I would also really like to start... I would also really like to start the next video with the gym. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and make this a longer video, and we'll go ahead and take out the rest of Route 36 right now. There's not really much to it. There's a berry tree over here, though. With an ice berry, which heals freeze, which is a status ailment you'll honestly, in all likelihood, probably never see in the entire game. Getting frozen is a really rare status ailment, and yeah, honestly, in most playthroughs I just never encounter it, but whoa, you're gonna read my mind? Yeah, I believe this is our first medium? Psychic, okay. I think they're called mediums in later games, but as their name implies, the Psychics use Psychic-type Pokemon. Which is actually part of why I switched to Elephant here. And whoa, this Abra can use Flash. Yeah, this is one of the very, very few Pokemon in the game that a trainer has that actually knows an HM. But yeah, part of the reason I swapped to Elephant for this battle was because, well, Psychic Pokemon tend to have really low physical defense. Particularly Abra and its evolved forms have extremely low physical defense. So if you use a physical type move, if you can land a hit, but if you use a physical type move, it'll deal a lot of damage to them. Yeah, this Abra's got my accuracy pretty low. I'm probably gonna have to swap out here. Well, maybe not, though. I think he's got a Kadabra after this, which is an Abra's evolved form. Go figure. Yep. Now, Kadabra, unlike Abra, actually does have an offensive move. Kadabra can use Confusion, as you can see here, which is a Psychic-type move. And yeah, I was going to say it will deal a fair bit of damage to Elephant, since Elephant doesn't have the best special defense. Oh, that's a pretty rare move to see right there, Kinesis. Yeah, as you can see, it also lowers accuracy. It's a move that's exclusive to Abra and its evolved forms, which I don't know why they get an exclusive move that is so relatively useless, but, well, there you go. Alright, with that we were able to fell the Kadabra there, and Elephant grew to level 20, alright. Okay, so I definitely want to swap out Elephant since she's got such low HP. Yeah, I'll throw Krusty back in the lead. And I think we have, yep, one more trainer here. Now, this is Schoolboy Allen. I'm pretty sure is his name. And the reason I remember this trainer's name specifically is because, well, this is actually one of the few trainers in the game. Whoops, I thought he was going to have a Growlithe. Yeah, Krusty's not going to do so well here, so I'm going to switch out to Hot Pocket. But this is one of the few trainers in the game that I would actually consider getting their phone number. Because unlike most trainers, which purely call either to rabble on with nonsense or to re-challenge you to a battle, Alan can actually call you for another reason. Sometimes Schoolboy Allen here will call you to give you a rare item, in this case a Leaf Stone. And this is actually, I think there might be one exception, but this is actually the only way to get a Leaf Stone at this point in the game. And I think for a long while, this is the only way to get a Leaf Stone, is from Schoolboy Allen here. So yeah, like I said, this is one of the few trainers I would consider getting a phone number from. I don't have any use for a Leaf Stone for any of my Pokemon, so I'm not going to bother, but just so you know there. Okay, now I think we have one more fight here. Oh, no, this actually isn't a battle at all. This is the flower shops. The girl at the flower shop mentioned that her sister was coming out to look at the Wiggly Tree. Well, this is her here. Huh, her water bottle, huh? Well, she's heading back to the flower shop, and yeah, you might remember earlier in the game we encountered this Wiggly Tree, but from the right side there, to the right there is actually Violet City. We still can't do anything about this tree, though. Maybe we can go to the flower shop there and see if we can get a water bottle to deal with it? Well, we'll find out about that next time on Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. This is Hexlex, signing out. Have a good day.